Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Sean Gibbons, who runs Manny Pacquiao's promotional company, believes that Filipino superstar would be very interested in a showdown with unbeaten puncher Gervonta Tank Davis. Pacquiao, 45 years old, retired from the sport in 2021 after suffering a 12-round decision loss at the hands of then welterweight champion Yordenis Ugas. Gibbons explains that the sporting outright in Saudi Arabia is very interested in having Pacquiao fight in the country, with the contest being the final fight of his career. The industry veteran views Tank as a great opponent for his boxer. Manny Pacquiao and Gervonta Davis match up really well, and that would be a fun fight. It's a matter of being able to make the fight, and that's the difficult part. To close out his career in Saudi, it makes so much sense because they like him in that area, so we will keep focusing on that first, and we will see what comes up, Gibbons said. I see this is the perfect springboard into doing something in June or July if that's in Saudi Arabia. The United States or England, Manny has one last fight of fighting. Manny could do an exhibition with anyone until he is 100. He is built different and has a fountain of youth, and we hope in the summertime we can do something big. Saudi Arabia would be a great place to end his career, and he has always wanted to fight in the Middle East. I hope it works out. We are having discussions in Manny. He's talking to His Excellency. Conor McGregor has said he is fighting in the UFC in June, so there is nothing happening at all there. But it can be revisited alongside Floyd Mayweather. They are fights he could do at 100 years old. Off the couch with ease, Gibbons said. The action has been unbelievable between pound-for-pound boxing stars Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. The place has been insane. Crowds have been awestruck by the dramatic ebb and flow. Neither fighter has taken a backward step. It's been an incredible battle. Oh, sorry, I don't mean in the ring. No, the pair have been ducking it out on their smartphones again. I apologize for getting your hopes up, but why should these guys get physical and give the fans what they want when they can't just sit back and type? Let's just ignore the fact that they punch for pay and enjoy all the social media shoutouts instead. Sarcasm to one side, we have had one positive that could lead to Haney and Davis exchanging punches as opposite to tweets. With Saudi Arabia here to stay in professional boxing, has let it be known that the fight is on his radar. He's already succeeded where others have failed by brokering the undisputed heavyweight championship. Davis is represented by premier boxing champions, who are known for keeping the vast majority of their promotions in-house. This habit was snapped with the Tank's most recent fight, which was a 7th-round knockout of the Golden Boy-promoted Ryan Garcia last April. As excited as this was, it was viewed as something of an aberration rather than a watershed moment. Also, BBC recently struck a deal with Amazon Prime following Showtime's departure from pro boxing. Would they be willing to stake one of their biggest names against a promotional rival this early in a new business relationship? Haney is on the contract with any promoter, but his most recent outing, a dominant 12-round unanimous decision win over Regis Prograis, was presented by Matchroom Boxing. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.